Once, in a village cradled by lush forests and shimmering rivers, there lived a guardian demon. This being was born of the earth's wildness and the wisdom of the cosmos. Its form both awe-inspiring and fearsome. The guardian's face was dominated by bulging, bloodshot eyes that seemed to pierce through the dark night. Its wide-open mouth was filled with sharp, protruding teeth, and a long, snake-like tongue flickered restlessly, adding to its menacing presence. Around its head flowed a mane of coarse hair, tangled with twisted vines and feathers, giving it the look of a wild and untamed spirit. The villagers feared, yet also revered the guardian. In past ages, it had been their protector, rising to confront threats and ensuring the village's safety. It had been a symbol of strength, one that roared against dangers, often driving away anything that dared disturb the peace. But over time, the guardian's role began to shift. Its once watchful eyes became filled with suspicion, reacting not only to threats, but also to changes that it could not control. Where it had once stood as a guardian of peace, it now cast a shadow of fear across the village, causing unrest even in times of calm. Beneath its fierce exterior, however, there lied a heart of pure love, a heart that longed to serve, to protect, and to hold all things with tenderness. But the guardian's love had been clouded by its own struggle, trapped in the cycles of clinging and resistance. It desired to control the flow of life, lashing out at anything that did not align with its desires. And so, the village found itself under the watchful gaze of a creature torn between its old purpose and new painful tension. One night, the stars shimmered brighter than they had in many moons. The village's warriors gathered. They were not armed with swords or spears, but with drums, rattles, and songs of the heart. Their intention was clear, to seek out the guardian, not as an enemy, but as a forgotten ally. They knew that beyond its monstrous form, the guardian was still a protector, whose true power lay not in its ferocity, but in its capacity for love. The rhythm of the drums echoed across the village, an energetic and steady beat that resonated like a pulse of the earth itself, like the heartbeat at birth or at the moment of death. It stirred something within the guardian's chest, an ancient memory of joy and gentleness. The pressure grew, and the guardian, compelled by a force it could not resist, began to move toward the center of the village. The warriors, with eyes filled with compassion, encircled the guardian. They did not attack or threaten. Instead, they sang louder, their songs swelling with the vibrations of understanding and forgiveness. The guardian, cornered by this unexpected warmth, felt its fear and rage dissolved as it looked into the eyes of the warriors and saw not enemies but beings who wished only to heal and set it free. In that moment, the guardian remembered. It was not a monster meant to conquer or control. It was a force of nature meant to embrace the ebb and flow of life. Its eyes softened and its roaring breath became a sigh of relief. The once menacing form began to transform. Its sharp teeth became symbols without harm, and its wild mane glowed with a soft, ethereal light. The warriors continued to play their music, and the guardian, free from its internal battle, began to expand. It rose into the night sky, its form dissolving into a mist of pure love. Like a bubble rising up from the ocean's depths and bursting into the air with joy. The village was bathed in a gentle light, and the guardian's essence spread across the fields, the rivers, and the hearts of all who dwelled there. No longer a threat, the guardian had become what it was always meant to be, a witness to the dance of life, free from attachment or aversion, present to every moment with open-heartedness. The village, now restored to harmony, found itself once again cradled by the gentle presence of its true protector, a presence that could never be destroyed, for it was one with the very essence of life itself. This tale of the guardian is a mirror, reflecting the secret dance within us all. It speaks not in the language of logic, but in the quiet whispers of the heart. Just as the guardian once roared to protect and then struggled against what it could not control, we too battle our own inner forces, those creatures of preference and resistance that shape the contours of our lives. Yet hidden beneath the sharp fangs of the ego lies a softer truth. That which we fear in ourselves is also born of love. The guardian, though fierce in its demeanor, longed only to protect what was sacred. The rage it carried was but a mask, hiding a tender heart, one that could only be set free by compassion, not conquest. This story invites us to look beyond appearances, to see the familiar shadows not as enemies, but as parts of ourselves that yearn for liberation. It is a reminder that the battle between control and surrender is not won by force, but by music, by the rhythm of life's acceptance, which sings to the deepest parts of our being. The shaman's song, like the divine whispers of intuition, calls us to soften, to allow the waves of experience to pass without grasping or pushing away. As the guardian dissolves into the oneness of all things, we are invited to do the same, to become the witness of life's ever-changing forms, feeling the currents of joy and sorrow, yet remaining anchored in the silent ocean of the self. It is here, in this sacred space of stillness, that we glimpse the golden lotus world, the Garden of Eden, reborn not by changing the world, but by seeing it with new eyes. It is not the world that must transform, but the way we perceive it, letting go of fear and embracing the love that has always been our true nature. For those who listen, this story carries a question. Can you too set the inner guardian free? Can you let the music of love melt the resistance within, allowing you to experience life not as a battleground, but as a garden of infinite beauty? The answer lies not in the mind, but in the heart, ready to be felt, not merely understood.